Hey, boys and girls, we are going all the way back to the very beginning of the Bible, to the very beginning of the beginning when there was nothing. Well, not exactly nothing, because God has always been here. But back before he made anything, it was black. There was nothing except for God. And then God created darkness and light. And then he separated the waters from the heavens. Now think about the waters for a minute. Not only did God create the waters, but think of everything in the water, from the smallest tadpole to, I don't know, a killer whale, a dolphin, a huge shark. God created each one of those. They are a unique creation that he invented. Think about the sky. Think of all the birds in the sky. Think about from the tiniest gnat you see flying around to a hawk or a condor. But God didn't stop there. He then created the land. Think of all the things on the land, from an ant to an elephant. But that was just God warming up. He wasn't even done. He created the sun and the stars and the moon. But all of that was a warm-up for the most unique thing and the most special thing that he created. And let me read to you what that was. This comes from Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 and 27. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all of the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps on earth." God created man in his own image, and in the image of God he created him. Male and female, he created them. So what was God's most unique thing? The special thing that he created? People, right? Think back to the story of creation. Do you remember the name of the first two people? If you said Adam and Eve, you are correct. God created Adam and Eve. He created the first people. Now, think about all the people of the world. Think about age, people's race, people's culture, people's language. Every single one of them was created in God's image. Now, does that mean they look exactly the same? No. Look at your brother. Look at your sister. Look at your mom. Look at your dad. You guys aren't exactly the same. You're not exact cookie cutters of each person. But you were made in God's image. So let's talk about that. What does it mean to be made in God's image? Well, think about yourself. Maybe you have blue eyes because your mom has blue eyes. Maybe you have curly hair because your dad had curly hair or your grandparents had curly hair. There are certain characteristics and certain features that you have that are like your parents or like your grandparents, but not exactly the same, a little bit different. And that's how we are created in God's image. But when we spend time with God and our thoughts change to become thoughts like God, and our mannerisms, how we behave, God is kind, God is love, God is patient, all of those qualities, all of those characteristics are like God. Those are how we are created in God's image. But also unique, which is very interesting, boys and girls. Remember how we talked about this whole month, we're talking about a custom creation? You are God's custom creation. You have the flavor of God. There is no one else in this world that can reflect God or shine God's love like you do. The things that you like. Maybe you're an awesome soccer player. Maybe you are a wonderful artist. Maybe you are a musician. God gave you all of those qualities because you are made in his image, because God is all of those things. So boys and girls, when you look in the mirror this week, I want you to think about the reflection you see in the mirror and the reflection that you are showing other people about God. Are you showing people that God is love? Are you showing people that God is kind? Are you being compassionate towards other people? So when you look in that mirror this week, remind yourself that you are unique. You are a custom creation, and you are made in the image of God. So let's thank him for that. God, thank you for creating us in your image. God, you are good. You are kind. You love everyone. And Father, even though we might look a little bit different from each other, every single person that we meet was made in your image. And every single person that we meet, you love. So God, I pray that when we look in the mirror this week, we not only see how unique and special we are, but we see the features of you, the characteristics of you, and we let those qualities shine through this week to everyone we meet. Jesus, we love you and we thank you. Amen.